Willie, you know what, Don? I said this earlier. Championships follow Willie wherever he goes.
That's right.
2 titles as a player.
Yeah.
4 as a coach. Got the Mets to within a strikeout by Carlos Beltran to go to the World Series as the Mets manager. And now 27 outs away from a WBC championship. So, Willie, I mean, how does this rate? I mean, you've been in the biggest moments in baseball. You've been in World Series dugouts and things like that, and in the middle of a pile when people are celebrating a World Series. How's this rate in terms of excitement for you?
Michael, it's right at the top. You know, I mean, you hear some of the players talk about it, and, you know, it's the guys who haven't really been in the World Series say this is the highlight of their careers, but it's a second, close second to me, man. I mean, nothing's like a World Championship. But I've had such a blast with these kids, man. It feels like a World Championship atmosphere. You know, the crowds have been tremendous. You know, the electricity in the stands, the players have been at it. So to me, it's a close second. And I haven't been back in a while. So for me right now, this is special and a blessing to be a part of this.
Well, you might be a good person.
Hear me? A lot of noise in the background.
Oh, no problem.
No, you're fine.
No problem. And you might be the perfect person to ask because you did remove yourself from it for a while. But I went to a couple of games in Arizona back in 2013, and I thought it was cool. And USA played Mexico, and the place was packed. And U.S. played Italy, and there was hardly anybody there. And it didn't really seem to gain as much traction. It's really become a big deal this year. Why do you think it's made such an impact this year and didn't in the first 3 go-arounds?
Well, because I think everyone really understands the magnitude of it, Don. You know, a lot of great players are coming up through the system now. A lot of the Latin players are getting better, the guards, if you will. And all the agencies have gotten better also. You look at Japan, even the Taiwanese are better now. The Koreans are getting better. I played coach international baseball a couple years ago, and I saw the progress they've made. And I think what makes this really special this year is that the Americans are showing up. I mean, really. I mean, when you get down to it, you know, if we have been competing the first 2 or 3 years, this will be being bigger. I think it's important we win this thing. So I think they get, you know, United States involved with that sense of pride and USA and what it's all about, because the other countries play it like it's their World Series, and I believe we have to take it seriously like that. So I think that having us in the finals right now is going to make this event even stronger as we move forward. But I think that now everyone knows it's on the map. It's really televised. All the games are on now. And I think that they're seeing there's some great, great young players in the game who are just getting better.
Willie, it's Peter. I was going to ask you, speaking of that, is part of the reason, you know, because there are naysayers like Michael Kay at the beginning. He wasn't sure. But here's yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. Do you think the fact that the international teams take it as seriously as they do, did that get contagious for the Americans? And will you be surprised, should the U.S. win tonight, in a few years when they play again, do you think we'll see some more big names who are desperate to be a part of it?
Well, it's a great question, and I don't think it should be something that's contagious that we should get involved with because other teams are having fun. This is a no-brainer, guys. I mean, this is baseball. This is baseball at the highest level. And I'm a little disappointed that we haven't gotten as involved as some of the Latin American countries because, again, I believe this is our game. I mean, I hate to sound like that, but you know, it's a world game. I get it. But the bottom line is that we shouldn't need anybody to get our juices going to play in a competition like this. Once you experience it, and that's the guys who have been in it, when they go back to their parent club, they're going to be raving about the experience. And I think there's a lot of guys sitting home right now probably a little jealous at what's going on here because what you see is genuine, what you see is real. We're having a great time in the clubhouse. The guys are pulling for each other. You know, we don't have to be jumped up, hooping and hollering. I mean, listen, we're excited as the other teams are. We just handle ourselves a little bit differently, that's all. And that's okay that they show that passion and emotion. But for me, this should not be something that guys should go, okay, I don't know if I like it or not. Maybe I should get a board on it. When we first started this, they should have had USA on their mind and taken pride in wearing the uniform, and this should have been a big deal from the beginning. Now, you're right. It will get better as we move forward because the guys are going to get a little jealous and think that, you know what, wow, I want to be a part of that. But we'll see. But I think that once we start to win this thing here and we win tonight, it would really go well for everyone involved. This thing's going to get really exciting every 4 years, and I think there'll be a lot of guys really fighting to get on this team because it is a great experience.
We're talking with Willie Randolph, the third base coach for the USA team. I'll tell you what, Willie, I've enjoyed these games more than I thought, but my one problem, I talked to John Smoltz about this yesterday, is the time that is being played. And, you know, there haven't been that many injuries, but Martin Prado got hurt. He's probably going to miss the start of the season.
That's going to happen anywhere.
Right, but I get that, but I don't think that players will be playing with this kind of intensity at this point in spring training. Didi Gregorius going to miss 6 weeks. If you were managing a team, Willie, would you feel comfortable with your guys playing in this tournament?
I would be okay with it, Michael. It's every fourth year. It's not like every year, every other year. I mean, if you prepare yourself, these guys are in great shape. They have personal trainers. Just start your regimen a little earlier. Injuries, you really can't point to that. I mean, Prado is not that fast. He was just jogging on the line and pulled the hamstring. Didi was actually a DH, and he wasn't even playing the field. He could have taken too many swings. Who knows? He could have taken those swings in Fort Lauderdale, or not Lauderdale, but in Tampa. So to me, it's all part of just, being lucky at the right time and just getting out there and getting loose and playing the game. There's no perfect time to play. I agree. I mean, when do you have this game? I mean, we're actually behind the eight ball as Americans because the Japanese get started earlier than we do as far as training. A lot of the Latin players are already playing winter ball, so they're in better shape. So I think that's why we struggle a little bit, is that we're kind of playing our way into shape as opposed to being in tip-top shape. Not an excuse. Don't get me wrong, not an excuse, because we still have great players. But I just think there's no perfect time to do it. Maybe they can tweak it a little bit in the future. But I think that, right now it's just a great event. And when you have 12 countries involved, and even teams like the Netherlands are getting better now. I mean, Team Israel did better. Now, these teams are not going to win championships right now, but it's just to see them getting better. The Italians are playing much better. I've seen their progress over the years. So it's just a phenomenal thing. I think that people that are not here, that don't see it every day, don't really get the impact of what it is and what it means. And this is my second one in a row. I did the one in 13 with Joe, and I couldn't wait to get back.